Alright, this your boy Daniel Lyndon Evans, and you are live inside the den, and the next episode starts right now.
May I introduce myself?
What a time, what a time, what a time for a black man to be alive. Living in the struggle while trying to keep our composure. Killing each other while trying to look for that exposure. We all just want to make it, we should do it as a team. Build each other up and they can't even say a thing. Me and all my brothers just stuck together like glue. It's us against the world and you know what we finna do. Woo! Pop a bottle, we in here for celebration. We just wanna be the leaders that's pushing the generation. Take a seat and find your zone for the topic of conversation. Find a way for a positive revelation. Now this really ain't the time to be thinking about yourself, cause we just a bunch of hustlers that's trying to give out some help. We turn the cubs into lions inside of the den. Come and join the brotherhood if you really just wanna win. Hey,
I'll make it do what it do, baby. As always, this is an unrehearsed, unscripted show, and I do have a very special guest before we get started. This is Mini-Me. He says hello. Always on time, always here for us. But to my right, I have a very special guest. This guy, I've met this guy about 5 years ago, maybe 4.5 years ago, and it's been that long since I've seen him in person. Very excited to see my brother, reconnected with him, Mr. Ashton. Brother, go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody. It's the whole world you're talking to right now.
It's the whole world. Like I said, like you said, my name is Ashton, AJ for short. Matter of fact, just run it all down. I am father of 3, husband, creator, CEO of a production company by the name of Lab 90. We do music. We also do, we're starting to go into animation as well. So anything in reference to photography, toy photography, products, stop motion, background music, rapping, singing in general, we right here. So, well, this is what we do, and I appreciate you for having me back there, man.
Yeah, man, no worries, man. Like I say, it was definitely, I was excited when I connected with you on Facebook and all that, man. But so tell me, what have you been up to in the last 5 years, man? What you been up to?
Man, it's been a journey. Like last time we met, of course, I had my oldest son. He's 5 now, but he was about probably 8 or 9 months at the point in time. So. We was working on AT&T or whatever the case is. So between then,
DirecTV, AT&T, we was going door to door.
We was in these streets,
knocking on the doors, trying to get people set up for DirecTV and AT&T, man.
And we were flourishing too. Don't get us like out there. So 9 times out of 10, y'all probably seen me out there in y'all neighborhood. I just had shorter hair. But between that time frame and now, man, just honestly just perfecting my craft is being I wouldn't even say salesman. It's being an influencer.
You're an influencer.
I would say that because.
Well, you still consider the salesman because even as an influencer, you got to sell yourself.
I mean, yeah, that is true.
And you can't toot your own horn, then you can't speak about else too.
That's true. Yeah. So yeah, boom, scratch that. I'm still out here perfecting my craft as a salesman. All right, I'm perfecting that craft. So job-wise, I've been doing different other ones from like you said, DirecTV, AT&T. I did home remodeling jobs, working for a couple home remodeling jobs, a couple lawn companies, just bettering the craft, but also I actually started Lab 90, my company, during this 5-year period. It actually happened right at the beginning of the pandemic.
Even by 2020?
Yeah, 1920, matter of fact. Yeah, I would say the mid part of 2019, because that's when we stopped working at the last job I was at that point in time. So mid part of 2019 or whatever the case is, sitting at home. Wifey, she has her own business of candles. That's when she was starting too. So I was really looking at her like, okay, you got your own business going on. What is it that I do? So she actually got me into going back to school, and that's what got me back into music. So with that being said, that actually started the idea of having my own production company. So
Lab 90 is a production company?
It's a production company, and we are.
What production y'all do?
We do audio production. Like I said, we're working on film production now. We're actually
Hey, we got another one. Add to the team, baby.
another one. We do photography. When it comes to like if you need family portraits, if you need just solo photos, we do that. What I've been focusing on mainly now though is toy photography though. I realized there was a small, well, it's not even that small. The market for it is actually big. You'd be surprised how many people actually out here buying toys left and right, like just having them as collectibles.
So, toy photography.
Yeah, like
you take pictures of toys
yes.
and make a photo shoot out of it?
Yes, and make a photo shoot. And you'd be surprised by how many things you can actually do with toy photography. It's basically being a big kid with the camera. So, like, I just post a couple toys or whatever the case may be, take a couple shots, and it's just like a regular photo shoot, but there's...
What can you do with Mini, man?
Mini can do a lot of things. Like, we can definitely get him squared away. Like, we can definitely get him taken care of. But honestly...
You get me on a shoot, man, a photo shoot,
and
man.
it'll be popping. I'm guaranteeing you, man, it'll be popping. But, like, a lot of people, like, it actually surprised me when I first got into it because, of course, think about it. Legos is one of the biggest toy companies out here. They're still making different things.
They got movies and everything.
Exactly.
Lego movies.
So think about it. Even when you think about the movies is nothing but a bunch of photos that was taken together, making it motion. So somebody's doing the exact same thing that I'm doing.
Wow. I didn't even look at it like that.
Yeah, they're doing the exact same thing.
You say toy photography. I'm like, look, but then you say, yeah, you can turn it into a movie, and you just have to get the voiceovers.
Yeah, it's called stop animation. Matter of fact, you heard of Robot Chicken from Cartoon Network? Yeah, exactly the same thing. The only thing they did is they used clay or whatever the case is for some of the toys, but the same concept. And
so this all started during the pandemic.
The music part happened during the pandemic. Like I was like, okay, at that point I still was doing music heavily, but a lot of people was coming to me like, oh, what are you doing in your studio time, man? Just that third. I'm like, well, I got a studio. Everybody you want to be a rapper, that's cool. Y'all come work over here with me. And since I was in school at Full Sail Ford, of course, you getting top of the line engineering with your stuff because I'm in school learning. So even though I haven't mastered it yet, like you're my experiment.
It's a progress. And then some of the guys that I got on my production team here inside the Den, they in the same category where they actually learning how to perfect their craft. Mm-hmm. And I told them, use my show as your practice craft.
Right.
When you get to a point where, you get real big, then you got that training value started from it. That's what I like to be able to help people use this as a platform to actually showcase the talent. So you're welcome to join the team. Like I said, we got a video shoot I'm working on. You probably haven't heard the theme song to the show.
Not yet.
When you watch the episode of the show, you see the theme song. The guy who wrote the song was one of my guests on this year. We were just having a conversation. He's a school teacher, but he's a rapper.
Okay.
And named Jada One. And I said, look, I need a theme song for the show. And after we had like maybe an hour conversation, this joker went back home, man, and put together a masterpiece of a song, man.
Hey.
And we got the song mixed. One of my mentees, King Ashbell, mixed the song and done it. And then my other guy, Soulful Design, he's the head, the lead engineer on the show. He put the video together for the intro. Mm-hmm. I said, I want to shoot a full-length, full-featured music video with all of us in it, in the video. And the theme of the song is Welcome to the Pride. And what we're doing is we're turning cubs into lions inside the den. And so, the more the merrier. The more people show up for the project, the more ideas, the more thoughts, the more experience, and then we can do this thing as a big project. And then I'm inviting you, publicly inviting you on our road trip we got coming up in July. It's called Inside the Den on the Road Show. It's going to be a road trip for Black excellence. Everybody on the trip going to be entrepreneurs in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And, we want to break that stereotype of, Black men can't get along together at the same time, And so when you get that type of, negative publicity about, actual demographic of men, I want to show that how we interact with each other when we, when we not working or whatever, how we interact with the police, how we interact with authorities, so they can see, the real, trueness of what we're doing. And it's also to build camaraderie, but the most important thing is to manage our mental health. A lot of us have been grinding over the last 18 months with no type of break, no type of just need to be able to just release and go on a real vacation. And so for 7 days, we're gonna go to Miami Beach, Florida. I'm gonna get a big Airbnb house for us to stay in for 7 days. We're gonna go and helicopter ride, jet skiing, whatever we can do in the city and hang out, man. So you welcome. Bring the camera. We're gonna do some footage, some live on spot interviews with just random people. Just do some stuff. You remember Hits from the Streets?
Yeah, I do actually.
How he just woke random people, ask some questions. I'm gonna do something similar like that when we get to Miami, but it's gonna be a nice little trip. So you definitely welcome to come on the trip with us, brother.
Make sure you tell me the dates, man, because I can definitely mark that in my calendar.
It's gonna be July 15th through the 21st.
15th through the 21st.
Yep. And
all right.
Be in Miami Beach, Florida. So
okay.
So yeah, man, I would definitely love to get with you on some of that, man, and then with the toy photography shoot.
He getting his shoot.
And then I don't know, man, we got graduations coming up, high school graduations. We got all type of things, man. If you're available, just let me know what you normally charge with everything, and we'll put together something to keep some work on. So
definitely, man. Definitely, man. Everybody want to make sure they got work. So hey, I'm down for it, man. Definitely.
So last time I talked to this guy, last time I seen him in person, he had an 8-month-old.
Yeah.
And now your 8-month-old is
5 years old.
5 years old.
This man is 5 years old, and you'd be surprised about, just that show Bill Cosby had. I think it was Bill Cosby that the kids say the darndest things back in the day.
Yeah.
Man, you'd be surprised at just the conversations that he has with me or his mom, just average people on a day-to-day basis. You would think you're not 5 years old.
Hey man, these kids have some wisdom from somewhere else.
The intellect is on another level, and you really sit down and listen to what they're trying to say or whatever the case is. You're man, why is that coming to your mind at the age of what's going on? What's up? But it's groundbreaking, man. It definitely helped me as a person. Being able to, experience fatherhood, especially with 3, because I got 3.
So what's the age of the other 2?
All right, so my oldest, like we said, is 5. My middle son, he is 3. He's going to be 4 in September, and my youngest, he is 4 months. So all fresh. Yeah, fresh. But the youngest one, he was ready to walk. You can hold him up, and his feet just ready to go. I'm he might skip crawling. Honestly, he might just jump straight from tummy time to walking. So they're growing fast, and this is a blessing to have them every day, man. Definitely. It puts a lot of things in perspective. Whether you know it instantly, or sit back and go, okay, it definitely puts you in perspective, especially on how you got to move as a person. I'm still coming up. I'm still growing, but even though when I say something I got kids, I gotta make sure that different. I don't want them. Growing up doing this right here, because they're a complete representation of me and their mom. So, you see them, you see how they act, or you see how they do one thing, their great mannerism, their mannerism is great, or, they do acting up, representation of me, representation of her. And I'm pretty sure, no parent wants to have a bad reputation, definitely when it comes to, anything like that. So, just me learning how to, maneuver, different teaching patterns and different, learning curves, it helps, or whatever the case is, because you find out firsthand, especially if you got multiple kids, you can't teach every child the same way. You can't. So. And
it's crazy because they come from you. All your kids came from the same 2 people, and you still have to deal with them
completely different
according to how they can happen.
And a lot of times, especially when it comes to me, I have to step back and be okay, boom, remember. Like I said before, these are kids or whatever. Some things you might expect them to know at the time, but you can't be too hard because, like I said, they're kids. They're growing up or whatever the case is. And I know, thinking back, with me and my mom, she taught me a lot. So I know I can't be like, oh yeah, I want it.
Mom still living?
Yeah, she is. Shout out moms. She did doing her thing. But yeah, like just me looking back, and I tell her most of the time, you know, just me growing up and me like looking back at the things that I did through my kids. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah. I can see I was in here for, or whatever the case is, but I mean, it wasn't nothing I was saying that was, you know, intentional or whatever the case is. So just being able to keep that in mind, man, just knowing that right there, I think that'll get everything a lot smoother.
So do you have plans on any more kids? How big you grow your family?
Honestly, man, I leave it all in God's hands. But I feel like right now, I think we're good. I think we're good. At first, I kind of had in the back of my head, oh yeah, maybe a girl, but no, I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay. So, you know, if God has anything planned further, then that's his call. I can't judge it. But right now, my plan, man's plan, is to be good on my 2 boys. That's it. So, family 5, we're good to go.
Yeah, well, I mean, in order not to have them all, you got to put
That is true. That is very true.
Precautions.
That is very true. That is true. But definitely, man, with that being said, yeah, I think we're good. So we definitely make sure the precautions are being met and things like that.
So, you know, where you are now versus where you are in the past, man, like what inspires you to do what you're doing, and what type of advice do you give to other people that's doing the same thing?
I would say what inspires me, it's a 2-part. I would say, like, because right now I'm still, you know, of course, I got my own business, but until I get to where I want to be, you know, I'm at a regular job, whatever, it's perfectly fine. So my business is my inspiration for when I work, or whatever it is. I don't look at my job as, oh, I gotta go to work. I look at it as an investor. So I'm going to work to make sure my investor can fully establish my business until it's up and on the ground and being able to be self-sufficient. What inspires my business are my kids, because they are very, very creative. And with my business being from a very creative foundation, you know, it's very, very, very easy, especially just going through, you know, like everyday life. It's very easy to lose creativity, or, you know, not be inspired as much as you was when you were younger. But, you know, just me having my kids, you know, with me on a daily basis, being able to see them do the things they do, it really inspires me to, like, really think of how creative I can be. Because, I mean, when I was coming up, especially with me being the only child, like, me coming up, like, I had to do something to keep myself creative. I had to do something, or I'm going to be sitting real bored. Nah. So, with me growing up and experiencing, you know, things in life, you know, it's very easy for me to forget about the creativity that I had. So, you know, just me having my kids, I see them playing in the room, or whatever the case is, or I can be upstairs and I can hear my oldest son, you know, creatively playing with his toys and just listening to what he's saying in those times, or whatever the case is, in his little story world. I'm like, it's not bad. I can expound upon that, or whatever the case is, whether it be in my music or in my photography. It's just that's mainly where my inspiration comes from. Like I said, 2-part. I look at my job as my investors, and my business inspires me to go there every day because I want my business to succeed. Because at the end of the day, I don't want my children to come up thinking you gotta go to work. Like,
and that's the thing, the thought just came to my mind that you're in a position right now that your kids haven't really seen you work a job.
Yeah, they seen it in reference to I'll put it this way, in reference with my oldest, yeah. Every job that I've worked at, he's been there, so like, if we pass, oh yeah, that used to be your old job, but he don't never necessarily
he don't know what that is.
Yeah, he don't know.
The 3-year-old in the city,
they don't know nothing.
They don't know anything about you going to work other than you making your own money.
Right.
So you able to shape their minds into like, you don't have to get a job or start a business. And that's very rare, because a lot of people who grow up seeing their parents struggle, seeing their parents work, you know, to the bone. And I remember that, you know, one of the things that I was attracted to you and your wife about was you didn't allow people to put you in a box.
Right.
You want to be off the grid and stuff like that. Don't want the government telling you what to do and all that kind of stuff, and don't let nobody control you. And when you think about it at first, people think that, oh man, that's crazy.
Right.
You got to be on the grid. You got to be in the system. You got to be able to do something. But you really look at it, you don't.
Yeah. Do you? Do you know?
You don't. You can grow your own food. You can do your own thing. You can make your own money. Start your own business. You don't have to never be in a box that somebody labels you. Always say, oh, you have to do it. Your kids don't have to go to college. They don't want to.
Because the thing about it is, and it's something that I spoke with my wife about probably a couple nights ago, but I've spoken about it in general before. Just I feel like people are already programmed for work because when you, at a young age, you get ready to go to school, you gotta get up early. You gotta get ready for school. You gotta go to school. You gotta focus while you're at school all day. You gotta come home. You gotta do your homework. You gotta go to sleep, just wake up and do it again. Grow up, you gotta wake up, go to work. So I don't want my kids to be like, oh yeah, well I gotta do this. Honestly, do what you love. If you're good at anything, see if you can make money. That could be your business. Rather than you going to, X amount of job or whatever. Now mind you, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with going to work, nothing wrong with it at all, because no business is cheap. So making sure you got that financial stability behind you to back that business, that's definitely what is needed. But my ultimate end game for Lab 90 is I wanted to be at a place where it's lucrative enough that whenever my kids get old enough, I don't really have to worry about them like, oh yeah, but I gotta go to a good job. No, not really, bro. You can actually just do something over here. I mean, it's still working, but you see what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to a corporate 9 to 5 or whatever the case may be. Like, you're actually doing something that's something that I can pass down. Because I can't pass down my job that I'm at right now. I can't be like, hey, you're old enough, I'm about to leave you, so here you go. No, you're going to have to fill out the application. You're going to have to do all this other stuff. But my business, I can pass that down to you. If it's lucrative enough, that's definitely, something that you can work on. And also, me having my own business and my wife having her own business, and my kids being as young as they are, it exposed them to let them know, yeah, you can do a business. I've seen people on Shark Tank that's about 12 years old, 11, 10 years old, they got their own business. They don't have to worry about going to work or whatever the case is.
One of my favorite shows, Shark Tank.
Yeah, Shark Tank, man, they don't have to worry about, oh yeah, well I gotta go clock in and da-da-da. I wake up, I start doing something that I love, like my passion. That's what's my drive, or whatever the case is. I don't wanna like be capped in the box of the corporate thing or whatever the case is. I want you to be able to make your own money at your own speed, like doing something that you love, because you're gonna put more into it than just waking up, going out here. At the point in time with that, you're gonna do it just to make sure that you stay at work, but never over enough. You're not gonna be out there like, oh yeah, I'm different, unless you love that particular thing. And if you do, I would say to you, look, if that's what you love, you should learn from where you're at and make your own business from there.
Yeah.
So,
well, definitely.
That's my inspiration on that, man. Just making sure that they can see, look, anything is possible. You can do your own thing. You don't have to worry about doing X, Y, Z. You don't have to worry about necessarily having to answer to a boss, I would say. Like, you're at that level where you can start doing your own thing. So,
yeah. That's awesome, man. And so the topic that we're talking about today, is kind of obvious. We're talking about being a black father in America.
Mm-hmm.
How has it changed for you as a child versus now you have children of your own, and what kind of man are you now versus what kind of model you saw growing up as a child?
Basically, me coming up, like, it was mainly me and my mom, or whatever the case may be. So, off the rip, I already had in my head, it was like an absent spot, like, okay, you're not here. Why is that? Or whatever the case may be. As I got older, and I would say I think it really hit me at a young age, but I don't know if I would say it affected me as, how some people, like, when they don't have a father, they lash out or do. I don't think it affected me like that. I doubt it, but just me seeing it at a young age, I kind of figured, like, look, if I ever had kids, I can't do this, or whatever the case is. Like, my father, my biological, he passed at a young age. So, of course, after that, there's nothing you can do. However, the times between that, that was the time I was like, okay, what's wrong? Like, what's up? Why aren't you, whatever the case may be, like, why aren't you here? Why aren't you calling? You know, before his passing, you know, he started to try to reconnect, but at that time, like, I was already mentally set or whatever the case is. So my main thing was just, if I ever have kids, never show them what I experienced. Mm-hmm. So just me growing up, like that's why I'm so like in front of my kids now. A lot of times, most people that know me, if you see me and I'm not at work, you see my kids. Or if you see my kids, I'm not that far behind. I'm somewhere, unless you know that daycare, whatever the case may be. And I'm doing that because a lot of people, including myself, we didn't grow up with a father right there in our face, or whatever the case is. You know, the person that I call my dad, yes, he was there at a distance, but like, I mean, he still taught me the things that that really structured me and made me to the person I am. But it was more so off of, well, I'm becoming this person because I don't want my kids. Like, my main thing was I never want my kids to see this. Like, you know how some parents be like, oh yeah, well I want my kid to have something that I didn't have, or have the things that I didn't have, and they buy the things or whatever. My thing was, I don't want you to have I want you to have what I didn't have physically. I didn't have what you have physically. I want you to be able to, and I want to make sure that I'm doing the best that I can with that. So it just, it really made me to want to be there in their life. Like, I didn't even want to be one of those fathers unless, like, it was one of those things that I couldn't help. But I didn't even want to be one of those fathers where, you know, me and the mom is not together and I'm still in my kids' life prevalent, but I never wanted them to see that because that's what I saw. It was just me and my mom. I never saw what it was really like to really grow up in a family where it's like, oh, there's mom and dad. And I had friends even, and it really, this part hit me when I was in my teenage years. I used to be so envious of the friends that I used to hang out with, or whatever the case is, because I went to their house, their pops was there, their mama was there. I'm like, man, I wonder how that is, or whatever the case is. Even though they might be getting on your nerves or whatever, especially growing up as a teenager, yeah, I understand that, but the fact is, they're still there.
Yep.
So, like, I used to be so envious, and that was one main reason why I used to always want to, like, I used to want to spend the night at my friend's house all the time. Yeah, I was cool with them, but, like, I also wanted to just be around that, oh, you know, this is a family type thing. So that's one thing, like I said, I fight for my kids now. Like, if me and the mother is having an issue, I'm going to fight to make sure we can get it squared away, because I want my kids to make sure that they can see that. Like, even with my mom and the person
it's important that they see you and your wife resolve and work through issues verbally instead of physically.
Right. Because, like, even with, like I said, the person I call my father, like, when him and my mother had disagreements, at the end of the day, and I'm literally at the end of that day, they were buddy friends again. And that was one thing that I did like. I'm like, okay, no matter what issue y'all had, y'all always got through it simply. Just like simply, or whatever the case is. Y'all might have stuff that y'all might hear from me. I'm not even surprised. I'm a child, but what I saw was my mom, my dad, they're upset. They're cool at the end of the conversation. So that's what I always try to push for my kids, because, like, look, a lot of people, they will have arguments and they will hold on to them for days and days. We walk around the house doing some shicey type stuff, or whatever the case is, because you're still mad about something that happened 3 days ago.
Yeah, you know.
But y'all ain't talking about it. Y'all ain't trying to figure it out. Somebody's not trying to figure it out. Or if somebody is, the other person's not trying to figure it out either. And I don't know what the reason is. That's not, look, I want to figure it out, because it's problem solving. Communication. Something I always say, communication saves a nation. If I can't communicate with my wife, how do I expect my kids to communicate with me? How do I expect my kids to communicate with anybody? They're looking at me and her. If they can't see us communicate and get it together, then I can't be too upset if they can't communicate and get stuff right. I can't.
Yeah.
This is what they saw. They're the product of their environment.
So let me ask you this: do you think that the way society is set up now, targeting black men for hate crimes and things like that, you think it's harder to be a father in America now versus back when you were growing up?
I wouldn't say I think it's harder. I think the obstacle that's keeping a lot of black people or a lot of black men from being fathers, the obstacle has changed depending on the time frame. Because in the 90s or whatever the case is, the father might have not been, or they might have one reason why we hate father. Oh, we're doing this, whatever the case is. Same thing is still happening here. It's just the look of it is the opposites change. So what I do like as a father myself, like I noticed that the stereotypes of absent fathers were completely screwed up or whatever the case is. Because I used to hear a lot of people say, oh yeah, well, you know, he's not here or whatever the case is, you know, he's not taking care of his kids or whatever the case is, and we're only getting one side. Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, you're not taking care of your kids. Oh, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. You need to step up. As I grow older, I start, and this is what I heard like a while back, like as a child grows up, he notices who's toxic one in the relationship between the mother and father. So some situations, or a lot of situations, yeah, the dude really is on some deadbeat situational type stuff. But in other situations, the father's trying and he can't get through because there might be a mother that might be upset, bitter for whatever reason it is. And instead of figuring it out, they use kids as a tokenship or like as a bargaining tool, like, oh, well, you're not going to see them. And then let the kids know, oh, well, your father's not doing this and third, but you're not telling the full story. Yeah. And you won't let them explain, or you won't let the father explain or whatever. It's just a big wreck. So, like I said, like the optics have changed on it, but it's, I mean, I've noticed as I grew up that a lot of fathers are there. Like all the guys that I know that have children, especially the ones that I associate with, because my circle is very small. But the guys that I associate with, they have kids, and they're all in their kids' life. So just me seeing that, I'm going up and I'm like, okay, your father's in here, but me seeing that, I'm like, look, they're here, but something might not be going right, or whatever the case is, if they're not. Like, I'm just all automatically throw, oh yeah, he's deadbeat. He wanted to do this, why not say whatever case, if it's not deadbeat.
I despise that word, man. When men get accused of being deadbeats and they get accused for not being there, and the child only knows one side of the story.
Right.
I was talking to my nephew some months back, and I told my nephew, I said, you know, he was dealing with some issues with his father. He's a grown man now. You will become what you despise.
Right.
You know, if you're not careful in how you judge people and how you look at their situation. Because he went from saying that, you know, his dad and his mom didn't make it. So, you know, his dad went his separate ways, the mom was there. Mom got remarried, and he was resentful toward the stepdad all these years because he felt like everybody felt like their dad is better and all this kind of stuff. And that might be the case, but you know, this man got his own kids too. And so he didn't give this man a chance because of his attitude toward, you know, what he thought about his dad. And so the older he got in his life, he started realizing that that his daddy might have had a valid point.
Right.
Dealing with his mom, you know, which is my sister. And so now he's at the point he has a kid. And I told him, you know, you're going to become what you despise, you have to be careful. Some of the same things he was, you know, talking bad about his father and what his father did, he found himself in the same situation. I say, you never know. When a man has to make a bold statement to a woman and is dealing with kids, you know, a man has to really be intentional on how he stands his ground. Yeah. And because you stand your ground, you consider the deadbeat. Yeah. Not to mention all of the time that you done had to pay and the kids can't see the money because it's in stuff like lights, it's in stuff like water, it's in stuff like clothes. And so they thinking that their daddy ain't really did nothing instead of, you know, the kid get to a certain age in life, like you said, to realize who the toxic one is. They come up and they say, well, you know, I'm going to stay with my daddy at this certain point. Yeah. They want to see his side of the story. Right. I think it's important that they see, like you said, how you work things out with their mom so they can see the healthy side of the relationship. Right. Instead of being a man who could easily use an excuse to walk out on his family, I commend you for staying in there. I commend you for being that sacrifice to say, look, kids need me, so let me be available for him. So what can I do to earn money where I ain't got to go to work for somebody else,
Right.
and I can be in the house with my kids, and I can teach them some things, and they can see me, and then so their life has been shaped on what they see from their father.
Yeah, and also, I mean, they see a lot of great things in reference to their mom as well. Because, like, I know when they get older, they're gonna see or they're gonna recall the times where, like, daddy had to go to work and mom was there to make sure that they was getting their education from point A to point B, whatever the case may be. So, like, I like the fact that they can also see both ends. When there was a point in time when I was sitting at home, she was at work, but it wasn't like I was sitting at home doing I'm just watching TV, not doing anything type of thing. Like they will see that I'm either in here doing, taking photos, I'm in here
Learning a craft, trying to learn how to power up so when your time do come, you can be intentional and be able to go out there and make some.
And the crazy thing about my craft is, like I said, since it's very creative, you would think that just off the rip, oh yeah, when he's sitting here, like, my thing is, like, you remember the old Transformer cartoon that came on back in the day? So I look at that almost every day or whatever, because I'm not looking at it because it's like, oh yeah, it's entertainment. I'm looking at it because I have old school Transformer toys. I need to know how they move. I need to know how they operate. So I'm looking at these things. You think from our business, you just sitting here looking at cartoons. No, I'm learning these things because right when I get finished, I'm right over here tinkering or whatever the case is. And even things that they can't see at night or whatever the case is. Like, I'm up to like maybe 12, 1 o'clock at night looking at videos on how to use a rig, on how to do this right here, or whatever the case is. But like, if they wake up and see it, like, so I like the fact that they did see, or that they do see both ends of it, or whatever the case may be. Like, yes, daddy's going to work, but also daddy is still working here as well, but it's also giving them a look like, oh, well, daddy's just playing with toys. But yeah, on the other end, this toy thing is getting bigger than what it could, whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, I like that. Like, it's something that it really shows them, and something that really, just gives them that idea. So like, it's fun, man. It's fun.
That's awesome, man. I love seeing young brothers like yourself, man, like really be, in love with their families and their kids and things like that, man. It really makes me feel good.
That's something I gotta thank my wife for, because at one point in time, like, I would say my family is at a point where, when one person's, the glue starts to melt away or they pass away, everything else just flies apart. Like, whenever I first got into, like, when I had Lincoln, as a matter of fact, at that time frame, I was not into family, man. I was like, look, I'm into this right here, but I'm not into the family aspect. So her teaching me, okay, like, just being around her family, whatever the case is, just being like, boom, family, it's family. So it made me be like, okay, you know what? Family isn't what I saw growing up. It's what I make it, or whatever the case is. So like, I thank her for that, because like I said, like, look, I wasn't about this. Like, I wanted my son, her. That's it. Anybody else, he can go fly. So like, I thank her for molding that.
Wow. So who are some of the people you look at, for as role models as far as like being the outstanding father that you have yourself after, or anybody that you admire in that area?
Honestly, I would say my admiration is for the fathers of my homeboys and my friends. Like, they was the ones that really made me mentally become the father that I'm trying to strive to, because I know it's hard to have not only one child but multiple children while also being married and also trying to maintain a life and a household and things like that, but keeping it all together. So the fact that and my friends, their family is still there, still together, and the dad is still there, making sure that everything is straight or whatever the case may be. Even if the wife is even if the job is like, okay, wife, you're doing this right here, but he's still making sure that those shots is being called. Like, that's what I look up to do, because I never wanted to be anyone. I wanted to be the best version of me. So I just look at them and I thank them for the pointers that I saw, just like off of, maybe in passing, or maybe like whenever I'm sitting there having a conversation with them. But there was some things that they talked to me about, just as a father with their child. So, I kept that with me like throughout all of this. So, like I said, that's the people that I really look up to, just like the fathers friends that I grew up around. They're top ones for y'all MVPs, for real.
So what do you see yourself in 10 years, man?
10 years?
How old are you right now?
31.
31, so 41.
Yeah, 10 years, man. I see myself in the dream home, definitely, that my wife and I wanted, with the business that we have, flourishing, definitely with our kids. Like I said, my wife, she does candles, Fatty Ink, that's the name of it. Y'all need to look that up. But with that, with the people that she's came across with, they say, oh yeah, well, your candles is this right here, this and the third. Your wax is this and the third. Okay, I feel like you have a multi-million-dollar company. I told that a lot. You have a multi-million-dollar company. And within the 10 years, I know that multi-million-dollar company is going to pop off. It's going to be seen. Same thing with my production company. I know that in the avenue that I'm in, or in the lane that I'm in, I'm not common. Like, it's not common to see a black man doing what I'm doing. So with that being said, I need to make sure that we blow up, to make sure that Lab 90 is a household name, like, maybe not 10 years, but maybe Disney, Pixar, Lab 90. Like, I want that name to be out there, or whatever the case is. Just like I want the name of my wife's company to be right there with Bath and Body Works, Fatty Ink, or whatever the case may be. So in 10 years, I see our companies growing, flourishing, being known all around the nation. I know that I see my kids, man, either having their own avenue of income, or at least having an idea. Even if they don't pursue it at the point in time, just them being in the circle, having that idea, or whatever the case is. It's a lot that I can see, and little bit by little bit, I see that we're working towards it each and every day, even if we don't have the exact lineup for how we want to have ourselves in 10 years. We at least see the end goal. And look, 10 years is a long way, but it's not.
Trust me, the time will go by
Super
so
fast. Yes.
You'll be sitting in my chair, and I'll be sitting in somebody else's chair, and it'll be like a blink of an eye. You're like, man, I didn't know where did all the time go. The time really doesn't wait for nobody.
I think of that when I'm like looking at pictures of me in high school. I'm like, I graduated in 2009, and it doesn't seem like it was that long. Like, that was like 13 years ago somewhere. And so like, time will move, and time definitely moves once you graduate. I would say, for at least for me, when I graduated high school, time jolted. It took off. So yeah, man, 10 years it's gonna snap. But I feel like in that time frame, like, we're definitely gonna be where we want to be, and so much more.
So what are some new projects you're working on right now? What are some current events that's going on in your life right now? New up and coming events, projects, and things like that you got going on?
Well, right now, like I stated, I'm trying to get into stop motion photography, or stop motion animation. So right now, I'm actually in the recording process of starting my own series with with the toys that I do have in the house. The name of the whole concept is just called Cross Reality. Basically, because I'm getting figures from, like, right now, my section of figures is like, I have Transformers and I have another set of robots. Two of them are like, they're big, like, everybody loves Transformers that love Transformers, and everybody loves these anime robots that love them. So nobody would think to see these two together. Just like nobody would think to see the bobblehead with
Lions Park come through here like the general.
You would never expect those two things to mesh. So whenever they're doing what they're doing, it's like, oh snap! It's bringing in not only your fan base, but it's bringing two other fan bases to one thing. So I'm actually working on my animated series now. It should be, I'm projecting probably by the fall, the beginning of the fall, or the end of the summer. That's when I'm gonna start releasing those, since they do take so much time to actually record and actually put together. Like, it takes a little bit of time. So that's what I'm working with now. Of course, my oldest son, he getting ready for school, so he's doing homeschool this fall. So we're getting him prepped, making sure that he got his education up together, things like that. So I mean, a lot of things.
He done had the world's greatest teacher the last 5 years, his mom and dad. You know what I mean?
If nothing else, man, like look, so he's definitely boy smart as a whip, and I mean I see it in him just off of, like I said, casual conversation. Like I know, like where they come from, bro. Like you're gonna have the teachers asking questions like why, like it's good. Like it's just the mental state of him growing up. So I'm here for it. Like got that going on. I mean a lot of stuff is really starting to just come about just for the betterment of the household, and as well as just learn the education, just everyday things. So right now the main thing on my list is, like I stated, the animation series that I got going on. Also helping white people with her business. Like I know she's doing a lot of markets around, so we're gonna be in Charlotte, Durham. Definitely, if y'all see us out here in the area, just stop by, get some candles, some wax, and things look great. So, just focusing on that, making sure that her business become that multi-million-dollar business like I want it to be, as well as, starting up the series so I can get mine off the road as well. So.
And you say your wife do t-shirts, or you do t-shirts?
I do t-shirts. Matter of fact, not this shirt, but I actually made the jacket that I got on with my little Lab 90 logo, or whatever the case is, and on the back is just a little segment, or whatever the case is. Like, so and most people that know Dragon Ball Z, I spelled it right, so it's what you say it. So, I mean, just quirky things like that, man. If somebody needs t-shirts or whatever the case is, like, I'm gonna probably start getting back into that, maybe this summer. My goal for next year, I would say for any type of apparel is I'm gonna be at like a lot of markets and stuff, definitely like out in the public face, so I can make this up at the moment, right? And you have to wait a couple days. You see me, hey, I want a shirt, hey, here you go, or whatever. So that's how that's working. But yeah, next year that's gonna be over that. Maybe that's off the ground, but yeah, create a house, man. House,
man. I'm gonna need to definitely get with you, man, because I need some more shirts made, and I got my merchandise inside the bin. I got
down for it.
Inside the bin cups here.
I actually been looking at that cup the whole time, bro. Like, I don't like that cup.
Yeah.
Oh man, I appreciate it.
And then
I like coffee, so it's gonna be used.
Then having merchandise right there. Working on getting a full-time person to full-time produce these candles with my very own line of Pride fragrance. This is the candle version, and that's the oil.
And it smells great too.
Oh man, it smells awesome.
It does. Like I'm not gonna hold it. It does. It smells really good.
So that's my gift to you, brother, for coming on the show, along with the candles and the scents.
And I have a gift for you too. It might be off there, but I definitely got a gift for you as well, man.
Yeah. So man, it has been a awesome time sitting here, just catching up, man. Before we got on camera, we were just talking about some of the things that we know, like my assistant Tommy Hicks is in the back, and these jokers already know each other. Like, I didn't introduce y'all to each other, but if y'all know each other before me, then that's
Look, it's just showing how small the world is.
Yeah, man, small world, man. So you know some people that I know, and so we always looking to add. I think of my organization like a family, and you have people that are fosters. They don't have family. That's right. So when they meet friends, the friends become like a family. So me not being from here, from Mississippi, when I meet people like yourself, my assistant Tommy, I adopt y'all into my family and become part of my team. So anything that I do or thinking of, when I start calling people to see how it sounds, you'll be one of the people I'm calling, hey, let's do things like this. Because you're doing some things right now that I actually have a need for. Like I said, I have my head technician for the show coming up on season 3 in a few months. By the way, for you all who've been tuning in all season long, I thank you all for joining in and tuning in with us and rocking with us all year. But this is the last episode of season 2. This is the 23rd episode, I believe it is. And we're going to be looking to start the season 3 sometime in October, November. So we got a few short months in between to get everything ready for that. And so next season we're going to go to the next level. Come on. You've been watching the show from season 1 and now every year I try to improve and get better at what we're doing. So improving means, upgrading equipment, upgrading skill levels. So I'll be getting people in next year that got some, some skill along with what I got now. So I'll be adding people to the team.
Right.
So, we can get together and see what it looks like for you. And if you want to join the team as a production specialist and everything and engineer, and I want to get my man on. I want to get some stuff with my man on. Add him to the doggone.
He will be out there.
Add him to the doggone the intro video and stuff like that, and just have some merchandise and stuff like that. So whatever you can bring to the table, man.
Definitely.
It takes a village.
Yeah, it does.
It takes a village
Yes, it does.
to raise a child. It takes a village to birth the baby, and your projects are your babies.
That's facts.
When you get done doing a project, it takes so much energy out of you because you don't put life into this thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm interested in working with people who are looking to go to the next level. You got a game plan, you focus, you inspiring, you got a good head on your shoulders, man. And if there's anything that I can do using my resources and my network platform and just being a friend, mentor, whatever, you can always come to me and we can talk. I want to get with you on some finances, on get some funding for your business so you all can have some cushion to do some next level type stuff, working with SBA loans and stuff like that. It's kind of some of the things I do. I know it's been a while since you've seen me, but I'm trying to, become that person that is well connected to be able to help people in all areas. So whether you're black or white, rich or poor, if you are an entrepreneur, you're looking to get to the next level, need some help trying to figure things out. I'm a certified life coach, motivational speaker. I do the insurance, retirements, credit repair, taxes, sell beard oil products, alpha male. I got my own merchandise, my own stuff. It looks like you're a little skinny.
I shaved a couple days ago, so it's going back in a little scarce over here.
So I just want to connect with the right people, man, and give people opportunity to shine, man. So if you into videos and movies, man, like I say, we are going to need some help shooting this video, this footage, man. So like I say, the more the merrier, man. You're welcome to come on in and just make yourself at home, bro. All right. Just come in and just start shooting pictures and start getting stuff right, start directing people. Like Chris Tucker, I didn't want to get peace immediately, okay? Man, who is this guy? Okay, folks, who we got? Who we work with, who's been dealing with? Anything you staff yet? Give me copies immediately.
I'm definitely down, man. Definitely, man. So I'm gonna keep in touch with you on that because, of course, that's something that I want to make sure that I can incorporate myself into and also, help the team with. Because, like I always say, communication saves the nation. You can't have a nation with a couple people. All
right. So before we shut it down, you got this camera here. This is on Inside the Den on Facebook. Mm-hmm. You on Instagram over here, Inside the Den on Instagram, and you got your own people. Where do we find you? Give me all your handles. Give me a 35, 45-second commercial right now so people can know how to find you, what all you do, you and your wife, and so you can be getting some feedback coming through.
Got you. You can find me in these streets. All right, now not
Nah,
I stopped there though. But honestly, if you want to look for my work, music-wise, you can always look up Lyrics, Lyricx. I'm streaming on all your music platforms, every single one of them. So I'm not that hard to find. In reference to any type of production work, Lab 90 Productions. That is my handle on Facebook as well as Instagram. If you would like to get more in depth with the toy photography in reference to the series that's going to be coming up, that's going to be on Cross Reality Toys. It's exactly how it sounds. And last but not least, if you want some smell good candles, wax melts, odor eliminating room sprays, By all means, Fatty Inc. FADDYINK. One word, Fatty Inc. She is a faith-based business that specializes in candles, wax melts, odor eliminating room sprays, especially if you like wood candles, give you that nice crackle and pop smell. Sound to it. So definitely, Fatty Inc. That's where you get your candles from. Lab 90 Productions. That's where y'all get me in these streets.
Wow, that's awesome, man. Just a few final thoughts, man. I just wanted to just commend this young man. Like I say, it's been a total 180-degree change from when I first met him to where he is now. Dressed and got longer, just being he was a grown man now. When I met him, he was still running the streets, still trying to, do his thing.
Oh, wow.
When I first met him, I called him Dougie Dub.
Yeah, man. Right in that days, man.
Hey, so look, but it's awesome to see his transformation, to see how he's become just a black father, man. And that right there is just it's so many men that have just given up on fatherhood altogether, and you have some men that have given up on manhood altogether, and they're going the other direction because this world has put so much pressure on a man, period, and then now the black man is being hunted down like an endangered species, and so when you put all that together, it's really tough to stay in a fight and become and stay with your kids and be a father. But I commend this young man for doing just that, man. Standing in a fight. Got three, beautiful young boys, and if he ever get to, if he ever get itchy in the next 10 years, and God decides to send a stork to your
better
house,
send it back.
return the sender.
Send it back. Nah, if God sends the stork, then I can't stop it. But I'm not sending out no letters. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I ain't making no requests.
No special request, yeah. But that's our show for today. Thank you all for joining us live. It has been a roller coaster this season, but it has been a fun roller coaster. We are glad that you all been able to rock with us for the last 22, 23 weeks. We have more shows coming up in the near future. Getting ready for this summertime trip, inside the then road trip to Miami, and then getting ready for season 3 sometime in the fall. So, hey, stay tuned. Next year is going to be better and better and better. And I'm actually working on some projects. Going to be in a movie coming up here pretty soon called Rockstar. They casted me to be in a movie. Then I got another guy, Soulful Design, is going to be doing a mini series on, and he's looking to pitch it to Netflix. So we're working on some things behind the scenes to put everybody in position because I started this podcast just to kind of have a platform that have a chance to come talk to people that they kind of as a therapy thing, man. But since I've been doing it, I just get ready to launch my own television network called Lions Pride View on Roku TV. So if you got content,
I will,
and you want to bring your content to 5 million people,
I will.
Then you can get on my platform and be able to be on there, and we can get you set up with that. So I built this platform to help people like you get your stuff out. My man here, my assistant, he does gaming. He does all the gaming, online gaming. He actually had a couple of companies that pay him to play their games.
I ain't get that far yet.
But this is. I'm connected to people that can help get you where you going. You can help us do where we going, man.
Plug us in.
Doing cryptocurrency trading with COTPS, robot trading with the Forex trading and everything, and you might be interested in that. But this is just my testimony. I started with $125 because I didn't know if it worked. I'm kind of skeptical and stuff like that. I worked hard for my money to be playing games with my money. I worked too hard for it. I'm telling you. What you see, I worked. This man knows how hard I work for my money. So when it comes down to trading, he was the first person that I talked to about trading. Still hadn't got to the point of doing a day trading yet, but the COTPS gives you the ability to set it and forget it. Started with 125, and that was about 45 days ago, maybe 45 to 30. it's been a short time, but I got 4,200 in my account right now off of 125.
Yes, yeah.
So this is a real deal. When I'm promoting it, it's the real deal. Because I don't have time to be promoting stuff that don't work. COTPS, robot trading, online trading, cryptocurrency. It is real. We get 100% return on our investments in less than 30 days. You get paid off for everybody you sign up under you. When they trade, you get paid off their trade, you get paid off your trades. So it's compounding trading. So it's like one of those good things. So you heard me talking about it a couple weeks ago. I had a young guy, Kevin, was on here. He does day trading, and he's 20 years old, and he out earns his mother and his father. Oh man, at 20 years old doing trading. So a lot of times these kids come say something. I tell my kid, what do y'all got going on? We doing trading. Let me look at it. Because I don't want to see make sure you getting tricked and stuff like this. This right here is legit. 100% legit. So stay tuned. Coming up in the near future, like I said, we're doing some things inside the den. And you can find me on Facebook, Inside the Den, YouTube, Inside the Den. I need y'all to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button because I only got like, I don't know, less than 500 subscribers.
Y'all playing games.
I'm trying to get to 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. So when I launch my my Roku network, I can send people straight over and they can follow me. So do your due diligence, patronize the black businesses, support us. You know, you support all these other people, support the local people, community. People like my man trying to make things happen in the community with his kids and with, just doing things. Support us, man. I got TJ Hicks here, Tommy Hicks Jr. He does the online gaming and stuff. And then I'm actually partners, and I can tell you this, right around the corner, down the hall, I actually got my own gaming cafe where we have online, we have PC games and console games right around the corner. Yeah, so we doing all that stuff for the community, man. But yeah, right around the corner. So yeah. That's why I'm here. I want to make sure I'm close to my investment. I got to be able to go down the hall and see what's going on. But yeah,
nobody even know what it's cheating.
Yes. So look, y'all be blessed, have fun, enjoy your weekend. We'll see y'all next time inside the den. Peace and blessings.
Hey.
Stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. I'm a lion, ain't nothing but anything. We on fire, and my brothers, they on fire too. And we'll fight for each other, that's what lions do.
Progression of the team is the purpose of our devotion. You can see that we've been working and really having some motion. None of it was given, you know that we had to hustle. And that's just how it is when you coming up out the struggle. They say it takes a village when you raising a child. And they all turn into your family after a while. We gotta feed into each other, show love to one another. Not a race, but I know we can all finish the mile. When we step up in the den, you letting go of your past. You the only person that can really hold yourself back. The pride and strength of a lion is truly your match. Everybody has it when you a part of the pack. Now this ain't the type of place that'll judge you for who you are. We just get you on your way to becoming a superstar. I told you once before and I can tell you again. Come and join the brotherhood if you really just trying to win. What's up?
Brothers need to stick together. As a team, we can make it wherever. Just tell me how you feel. Just tell me if it's real. Brothers need to stick together. As a team, we can make it wherever. Just tell me how you feel.
Tell me how you feel.
Just tell me if it's real.
I introduce myself?